Good morning, Twin Flame Tribe. This is Jan Conradi from Twin Flame Mission SA. Today I want to talk to you about the dark side of Twin Flames. It's a topic that's been dwelling on my mind quite a lot over the last couple of days. Twin Flames can't have secrets between them. If you want to live from your higher self, if you want to live from your soul space, of course you know that you and your twin flame are one soul, incarnated into two bodies on earth, two different polarities. There's different opinions as to how and why this happens. I'm not going to go into those today. For me specifically, I want to talk about something that I've, as a twin flame coach and mentor, been confronted with over and over again, and that is the dark side of twin flames. Now today I decided to bring a couple of aids with to get this point across, and let me start with this specific one. So of course, as you know, this is the Devil card from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Very often when I do readings for twin flames, including my own, this card would appear. And of course, if you look at the numerology of this card, it is the number 6, which is also, if you add the 5 and the 1 together of 15, you get 6, which also then relates to the Lover's card in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. This card is about being deep under the influences of your ego, of worldly influences, of evil influences, addiction, deceit, lies, cheating, narcissism, incest, very dark things. This card always comes up in tarot readings that I do for the divine feminine and masculine, very specifically around the divine masculine, which is your negative polarity. I'm a divine feminine twin. This card is very often part of the reason why they run. They run back to a previous situation, a previous karmic situation that is keeping them tied, that is prohibiting them from stepping into their purpose and mission of embracing their twin flame mission and living from their higher self. Of course, you know that this card should, by following the initiation journey, which is represented by the Fool. So this card is the initiation journey to ascension. This is the Fool's journey. It is also the twin flames journey. Sort of where you go and let go of the baggage of your past. You'll see that the Fool only has a very little bag that he's carrying with him. So you let go of all the baggage of the past. He's carrying that white spiritual rose of transmutation and purity. The dog by his feet is faith. He walks in faith. He looks up at the heavens because he's acting from his higher self. The fact that there's a cliff in front of him doesn't matter, and because he knows that he's living in God's abundance, the sun is shining on his back, and that there will always be a good outcome for him. So this is the twin flame journey. This is the journey that you have to follow. Let go of the past. Let go of the ego. Let go of the addictions of the past. Let go of all the dark things that you've chosen that's making you feel guilty, that's keeping you trapped in a situation you no longer want to be in. This is a specific message for the divine masculine twins out there. No, they will probably never see this video, as it's only the divine feminines that actually look for videos like this and aid, but it's good for you guys to know as well that your divine masculine twin is most probably tied to a situation like that. There's always very dark and evil things at play. Um, you know, if I look at the tarot readings that I do for twin flames, this card often comes up, including in my own situation. This card comes up quite a lot. This, of course, is a card of deception, lies, dishonesty, trickery, stealth, acting behind the scenes. You know, and as you can see, there is a little group of people. This person thinks he's getting away with it. He thinks that the deceit and trickery will go unnoticed. But somebody is noticing. And that is the nature of the twin flame journey. If one of the twins step into this card, which is the actual being of twin flames, where the twin flames are no longer tied to earthly situations, where they're no longer under the influence of that evil, where they're no longer under the influence of their ego, but living from the higher space, living close to God, being one soul, you know, being free from the desires of the world. You would remember that in the devil card, they are those desires, wants and needs. They both have horns and tails. In this card they're free. In this card they're shackled. In this card there are no ties that bind. Here it is the devil that sits above them, and here they are free and they are living in God's abundance, in God's mercy, in God's being. So essentially the journey is to get from here to here, and you know, that is the whole mission around twin flames. Now, like I said, you can't get there if you apply this the whole time. You think you're doing all of this sort of without the knowledge of your twin and your loved ones. But guys, they're not. The twin flame journey, you and your twin are one soul. At the soul level, you know. If you're deeply in tune with your intuition, you know what's going on. You know that your twin may be deceiving you. You know that there might be very negative, addictive behavior involved, which is done openly. In some cases it is. You know, it's not always done deceitfully. But in very often, these things come a very long time. They're very dark secrets. They feel impossible to overcome. For the divine masculine twin, this is the reason they usually run back to a situation they came out of, you know, to be with you. They run back to the situation because the ties that bind them to that situation is just too strong. When the mirroring starts in your relationship, you know, the pull starts to pulling them back into this situation of the ego, of the evil of old, you know, of the shackles that bound them to that situation, and they fall back into that, and they feel they can't get out of it. But as the other twin, the divine feminine twin, becomes awakened and walk this path, divine masculine has to realize that their twin will walk over the cliff for them in faith, that their twin will go the full distance for them, that they will leave everything behind for always and forever for them. If you're the divine feminine twin, you become the lighthouse for your twin that is shackled to this situation. You let go and you become unconditional love. You become your soul, which is also your twin flame and yourself. And you become the lighthouse for them to get out of this situation. You can't fight for freedom. You can't scream for peace. The harder you fight to get your twin out of this situation, i.e., focusing on the outwards, your twin might be heavy into addiction. They might be into incestuous relationship stemming out of deep-rooted sexual abuse of the past. And they feel so stuck in that situation, and they actually ran back to that situation, and they don't even really know why they fell for it, because they know it's so superficial that they're not that person, that even though horrible things might have happened, things they deeply regret, things they had to give up, things they lost, that they can get out of that situation, that their twin will not judge them, that their twin, who is the same soul, already knows about all this darkness within themselves, because that darkness is also within you as the divine feminine twin. You know, twins often go through the same types of abuse. It's very often mirrored. And what you find in your own situation, in your own past, is usually just reflected in your twin. And in the case of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, it could just be worse and ongoing. You might be able to shed that off as you awaken. As you follow the twin flame journey, your twin might go through cycles where they're still very much chained to that and not knowing how they can get out of that. So guys, remember the video I made around forgiveness. It doesn't matter what situation you're facing. It doesn't matter how you find out, what your twin is busy with. The karmic situation they find themselves in. The lies and deception of the past. They're eating huge guilt pies. They feel like horrible people for doing the things they did, for getting themselves entangled yet again in the same messes of the past, and that, they just feel so strangled in that situation that they can't get out of it. They feel absolutely stalemated. They want to make the right choice. They want the deception to stop. They want to be better, but they don't know how. Now again, if you look at this card, you will see that those chains are very loosely hanging around the necks of the twins there. They can take it off themselves. The devil won't stop them. It's free will. They can choose. They can choose to end that pain and suffering they're in by just making the right decision. What is the right decision? Well, a picture paints 1,000 words. What is the right decision? What would you choose? What would you choose? Easy choice, right? What would you choose? Being in paradise or being in hell? Guys, that's all I have to say today. It's been a hectic weekend for me. I've made very, very deep discoveries in this journey. I realized how deep this rabbit hole goes. If you're living from your soul space, if you have these conversations with God, there's no deceit, there's no lies. Everything is revealed. There is no Pandora's box within you. Everything is revealed because there can be no lies between twins. There can be no denial. There can only be bravery. There can be trust. There can be hope, and there can be faith. And if the divine masculine is stuck in a situation, let's send them that collective global consciousness of unconditional love, and the knowing that they will be absolutely forgiven for whatever they gave up, for whatever they got themselves into, whatever deceit they committed, whatever lies they told, whatever decisions they made in the past that no longer serve them, that never served them. And that is the best that we can do as divine feminine twins, to be that lighthouse for them, and hope, like in the Bible, they return like the prodigal son and walk in the light and unconditional love of a twin flame union that is meant to be and stable. I wish you guys a great day. Head over to the website, like and subscribe the video. Website is twinflamemissionsa.wordpress.com, and there's a free course you can download. There's a self-study course that includes everything I discussed here and in much more detail, a lot more. There's other videos on the channel, free videos to aid and coach you. Guys, I want to be your lighthouse. This is the dark side of twins. There's always a dark side. There's usually some form of deceit involved, lies. Sometimes the rabbit hole goes very, very deep. And just know that you as a soul contracted for this, contracted for these obstacles, whatever you may be facing. Don't lose hope. It's all part of the twin flame blueprint. It's all part of the fire test you're going through, to see if you can live from your soul. If you know that you're your soul, that you're singular, that you can be that lighthouse, that you are forgiveness, that you are unconditional light and love for your twin. I wish you a wonderful day. Bye.